What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to go over some real interview questions that were asked in a startup from one of the viewers, and he was kind enough to share those questions with us. So these questions that we are going to go over in this video, they are real questions that were asked in a real interview, but it was a startup interview. So generally in startups, the questions that will be asked will be completely different from what will be asked in mature companies. Mature companies generally ask more refined questions that are more refined to the role, while startups would have an expectation from a Scrum Master to do multiple roles, to wear multiple hats. And these questions reflect that kind of mindset. So this will be a new way to look at things for Scrum Master people who are preparing for Scrum Master interviews, because there is a lot of startups out there who are looking for Scrum Masters. And if you're applying for jobs, there is a very high probability that you might be applying for startup jobs as well. So these will play a very important role. Not only that, these will open your mind to what else can a Scrum Master do in an organization, so that you can be more valuable to your team, more valuable to your company, and become a better Scrum Master. Now, before we get started, please, if you like this type of content and if you find value in these type of interview questions and in this type of content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel so that we can continue making these videos for you. Also, if you are someone who is looking for a Scrum Master job and you are in your journey, make an investment in yourself and get a consultation with me, one-on-one consultation with me. Click on the link down below and get a one-on-one consultation with me. Not only will I help you with resume prep, asking the right questions, clearing the interviews, I will also help you after you get the job to become a better Scrum Master. Not only better, but the best Scrum Master at your company. Because if you somehow crack the interview by watching the videos and whatnot, there is a very high probability in real life when you actually get to working, it's quite different. And a lot of companies, they let go of new Scrum Masters after 3 months after they find out they're not doing the job up to par. So not only will I help you get the job, but I will also help you keep the job and excel at your Scrum Master job. Click on the link below and get a one-on-one consultation with me right now. Now, with that said, guys, let's get started with this new interview questions that we got from a startup candidate who was interviewing for a startup. And this is a very different form of questions that you might not have encountered on any YouTube channel or in your life so far, and it will be a very great experience for you guys. Okay, so these were the questions that were posed in the startup from one of the viewers who just recently gave an interview, and he is actually using the consultation services, and I am helping him out through the process. I helped Naveed, who was here on the channel before. We did an interview with him, 2 interviews actually, and I was able to help him get a job. Same way I'm helping this candidate as well, and I'll help other candidates who are right now in the consultation process. There is a lot of people who are signing up for the consultation, so don't miss out. This is a great opportunity to get a Scrum Master job. Click on the link below and get a consultation. Now, this is a scenario-based question. The question was, the client, so this is a startup, right? And they are selling products on their website. And what the question is that there's a client, and the client has a website that sells various products on their website. They would like to include additional information on the website homepage to highlight the features of the products to increase the sales. So basically what the client wants to do is that they have a website that sells products. For namesake, let's say they sell auto tools, and on the website they're selling tools, and on the website homepage they want to highlight the features of the tool. This is such kind of tool and it does such and such things, so that they can increase the sales. Basically they want to make the product look better, make the product be able to be more understandable to the customer what they're buying, so that they can increase the sales. Okay, so this is a scenario. Now, this was a Scrum Master job and this was a Scrum Master interview, and these kind of questions will be asked from a startup interview, because in the startup the mindset is completely different from a actual like a seasoned company role like Accenture, Microsoft interview will be different from a startup interview, because in a startup they expect you to wear multiple hats. If they are hiring you to become a Scrum Master, they might expect you to do certain roles of product ownership, certain roles of project management, certain roles of business analyst. So expectations in a startup are completely different, and so you will find in many situations the questions that they ask during the Scrum Master interview in a startup role are very different than what they will ask in a seasoned company role like Accenture and Microsoft. So this is a prime example of that. This is a product owner question, but it has been asked in a Scrum Master interview because it was a startup. And a lot of the people that are looking for jobs and that are applying for jobs nowadays, they are facing these type of questions. So this is a very great example for anybody who's preparing for an interview. They should know this, and they should know the way to answer this question, and we are going to tackle it right now. So how you would so the first question in this scenario is, what question would you ask your client to clarify requirements and their goals? Okay, so the client wants to highlight more info on the products to increase the sales. The end goal is they want to increase the sales. So what question would you ask the client to clarify the requirements and their goals? Okay, in this scenario, how I would start is I would try to ask clarifying questions about the product. So before I attempt to create anything for the client, I want to understand the product myself better. Uh, so that I can understand what the challenge they are facing right now, if there is a challenge. So asking clarifying questions about the product and to understand better the problem statement. What problem is the client facing? Are they facing a reduction in sales? Are the numbers going down? If the numbers are going down, why they are going down? Are they going down in a certain demographic? Are they going down in a certain certain orientation of people? What's the reason in a certain locality? What's the reason? What's the problem statement? So those kind of questions I will ask. So I will write here the action steps. Okay, this is how you will tackle it in real life as well, if such kind of scenario comes in front of you in real life. First, I will create a draft document in which I will mention all the info that I have collected. And the info that I have collected is, I will lay down right here, who is the customer, okay, now I understand who is the customer. What does it look like? What does she think like? Where what kind of job he does? What kind of place she lives in? That kind of thing. Once I understand who is the customer, what is the product we are selling? What is the problem? What is the problem? The problem is decline in sales. Where is the problem happening? Is it happening in a certain demographic? Is it happening in a certain locality? Is it happening in just one car tool section, or is it happening all across the board? Then we will try to understand why is the problem happening. So this is the thing, right? We will create a draft document in which we will mention all this info that we will collect from the stakeholders. Okay, but who is the customer? What is the product we are selling? What is the problem? What is the problem? Where is the problem happening, and why is the problem happening? Now we have collected all this information from the customer. The customer here mentions the client has a website that sells various products. For the sake of this example, we are saying they're selling tools, and they would like to include additional info on the website homepage to highlight the features of the products to increase sales. Okay, that's the end goal that they want, right? Now, what we have created here is a draft document in which we have a very deep understanding of the product, the customer, the problem, and the situation at hand, right? So now we understand what the whole situation is. Now we understand we have a very 360-degree view of what the problem is, who is the customer, and everything, right? Now we will move on to the second question. Write a user story outlining your recommendations on completing this request, right? So now we have identified the problem. Now we will move on to the closing steps. How will we solve it? How will we implement it with the help of the tech team on the website? Okay, this is going to be a super, if you are watching this video, you're very lucky, because this is a project manager, a product owner role. But in many scenarios, if you as a Scrum Master have this knowledge, you are super powerful, because not only can you be a good Scrum Master, you can also understand the product ownership side of the view, which will make you more valuable to the company. So if you're watching this video, like and subscribe. This is great information. Okay, now we are going to go into solutioning. We have identified the problem, we have gathered the information, we have a draft document. Now we're going to go into writing a user story. So write a user story outlining your recommendations on completing this request. Okay, first of all, we will see what are the action steps that we have taken. Okay, now we are going to write down these user stories to solve this problem with the help of the tech team. A Scrum Master does not write down user stories on his own in a silo. He's going to write them down with the help of the tech team, with a senior developer, with a tech manager, tech lead, software engineering manager, whosoever it is, right? Now we are going to write down the user stories. So the first user story that we are going to write down is, as a project manager, and you can name yourself as project manager Larry, I want to know who is the perfect customer for this product and what is his or her age, title, location, demographics, hobbies, and as much information as I can gather about the customer. And that is going to be our first user story. Okay, that is going to be our first user story. Guys, this is our first user story that we are going to hand over to the tech team, and they are going to gather this information for us. Okay, just for example. Okay, now the second, that once we have enough information about the customer, then we are going to identify what is the product we are selling, right? As a project manager, I want to understand what problem this product solves for the customer. So I will write down one more user story here actually. So B is going to be, as a project manager, I want to understand what is the product we are selling. Okay, because a user story is a very, the smallest chunk of work that can be produced independent of other user stories. So if I'm saying that I want to understand what is the product we are selling, it is independent. I can deliver it. It's it's 2 story points, and I can deliver it independent of any other user story. It can be delivered in as a minimum viable product, MVP. So as a project manager, I want to understand what is the product we are selling. Okay, once I have an understanding of the product that we are selling, we are going to go to the next step, which is, as a project manager, I want to understand what problem does this product solve for the customer. Okay, now this is still a product understanding. Okay, that's the third user. I want to understand what problem this product solves for the customer. Okay, that is going to be our third user story. Now the fourth user story that we are going to write is, as a project manager, I want to understand what is the problem the business is facing. Okay, we are going to write it right here. We are going to change the circulation a little bit. Okay, as a project manager, I want to understand what problem is the business having with the sales. So I want to understand what problem is the business having with the sales. Have the sales gone down? Have the sales staggered? Have the sales kind of stabilized? What is the issue we are having, right? What is the problem we are trying to solve? Now, moving on to the next step. The next step is going to be, as a project manager. Okay, so now what we have done so far, we have identified the customer, we have identified the product, we have identified what is the problem we are having with the product, what problem the product is solving for the customer, what is the product niche, is it a car tool, truck tool, what niche is the product in, it's a car tool. Okay, now we are going to identify So now we are going to identify, we are going to identify solutions. Now we are moving towards solution. Okay, what problem is the business having with the sales? We have identified that problem, and we are going to identify one more problem actually in the problem itself. As a project manager, I want to understand what segment of customer is this problem coming up with. Okay, so very granular, very to the point, and it can be shipped as an independent product, a minimum viable product. Always remember that about user stories. Okay, this is just a sample example. Of course, if we are sitting with the tech team, we are going to design more elaborate and more technical user stories as related to this example. Okay, because we will need data analysis, we will need multiple segments. Okay, so right now we have identified what's the product, what problem the product is solving for the customer, who is the customer, and we are going to get more into who is the customer now as well. As a project manager, I want to understand why is this problem happening. So now we are going to understand, why is this problem happening? Is this happening because we changed our marketing plan, because there is a new competitor on scene? What is going on, right? We will research into some of those topics. Okay, so now guys, we have written user stories for this business. Let's say this business's name is ABC. For ABC business, we have identified the problem. They have through the help of these user stories, they have seen a reduction in the number of their sales. So we have written down user stories to get into the nitty gritty. Where is this reduction? Is this a certain segment of customer? Okay, let's say it's a customer in a certain area where we have seen a reduction. It's a car tool that is facing the reduction in number of sales. It's located in San Diego, California, where this problem is happening. It's a certain segment of customer in San Diego, California that is facing this problem. Now we are going to identify, why is this problem happening? And when we were digging deeper, we found out that there is a competitor who just opened shop in San Diego, California, who is offering the same product at a cheaper price. So all the dealerships that were buying from us, going to our website, are now buying from this competitor. So that is why this problem is happening. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to get into solutioning. How will we solve this problem? Okay, now this is going to be the solution side of things. This is identifying the problem. These are the user stories for identifying the problem. Now we are going to write down user stories for the solution. So as a project manager, I want to understand the features of the product so that I can design a sales pitch. Now, first of all, we are going to write down, let me get here. This is the solution side of things. As a project manager, what should be the solution to this? Okay, so we are going to write down a sales pitch. We are going to see how we are different from them. I want to write down certain steps that we will take that can help us increase sales. Okay, so I want to brainstorm. I'm going to write here brainstorm. I want to brainstorm certain steps along with the stakeholders, along with the business and tech teams, along with the business and marketing teams. I want to brainstorm along with the business and marketing team certain steps that we will take that can help in us increase our sales. Okay, so that is the first thing we are going to do. Once we have a certain number of steps, let's say we are coming up with a step that we will make sure that we mention more information on our website that this product is better than the other product that the competitor is selling, because this product does a certain thing that the competitor's product does not do. So as a project manager, I will brainstorm along with the business and the marketing team certain steps that we will take that can help us increase our sales. Okay. So now we have identified the certain steps that what we are going to do. We are going to write down a certain features that our product has that the competitor does not have. That is the first step that we are going to take. Okay. We are not worried about any extra steps right now. That is the only step we are going to take, and that is the only step we are going to mention. So as a project manager, I want to understand the features of the product, the nitty gritty, how it functions, how it operates. So I might have to go into the warehouse to see how it works, right? So that I can design a sales pitch. First of all, I can design a sales pitch, or I will change it. Okay. I will change. I want to understand the features of the product so that I can create a draft of how to publish the features on our website and distinguish us from the competitor. So this is what we're going to do, right? As a project manager, I want to understand the features of our product so that we can distinguish ourselves, so that we can mention those features on the website and we can distinguish ourselves from the competitor. Okay. So that is what we are going to do. Now, once we have that, once I have understood those features and we know that these are the features we are going to put on our website, then as a project manager, I would like to design, with the help of the design team, with the help of the design team, a template which we can publish on our website that will show to the customer how our product is better. Okay. So now this is what we have done so far. Okay. This is what we have now. I know this is a lengthy solution, and this scenario went on lengthy, but you do this, there is no way that a startup will not hire you. Okay. You do this type of solutioning, they will bend over for you. They will hire you 100% because you went in depth. You understood their problem, what problem they were facing. You understood the customer. Not only that, once you understood the problem, you went into solutions. You went into collaborating with different teams. You collaborated with the business team. You collaborated with the marketing team. You sat down with the tech team to write user stories. You collaborated with the design team to design the UI framework for how the feature will look. Once you published those new things about your product on your website to increase the sales, right? You went into the nitty gritty of what is the problem? Where is this problem happening? Is this in a certain segment of customer? Okay. This is how you answer this question. Now, when you are sitting in an interview and you get asked a scenario based question, okay, the client has a website that sells various products. They would like to include additional info on the website homepage to highlight the features of the product to increase sales. You ask the interviewer, give me 4 minutes, let me design steps that I will take, and I will ask you clarifying questions. You answer me those questions, and we will come up with a solution for this. So this is how I would go about answering this question. Okay, the client is facing problems on their website by selling various products, and they want to increase the sales. Okay, first of all, what is the product? Okay, the product is tools. They're selling tools. Okay, is this are the sales they want to increase, is this a certain part of tools like car tools? What kind of truck tools? Is this a certain segment of a tool? Okay, car tools. Okay, so the client sells tools. They're trying to increase sales of car tools. Who is the right customer? Is it the dealerships they buy directly from the client? Is this independent customers that come directly to the client? Who are the people who are buying this product from the customer? Okay, so identify that customer. Okay, now Has there been a recent decrease in sales? Yes. Okay. Where did this decrease in sale happen? Did this happen in a certain locality of customer, certain demographic of customer, certain income bracket of customer? Collect all that information. Okay, it happened in San Diego area. In all the dealerships, they're not buying from us anymore. They were our customers, but now they're not buying from us anymore. Okay, now we have identified what they are selling. Tools, they're selling car tools, they are selling car tools in San Diego area. In San Diego area, we have seen a reduction in selling of the car tools, and they want to increase the sales of these car tools. Okay, why does this reduction happen? Have you guys changed your marketing plan in the recent months? No, we haven't changed our marketing plan. Okay, have you guys introduced any new features to the products that could make this change? No, we haven't introduced any new features to the products. Okay, have you guys changed anything on the website, the UI part that could impact this decision of the customer to go to a different website because our website is not that comfortable? No, we haven't done that. Okay, have you guys increased the price? No, we haven't done that. Okay, so these are not the problems. Why do you think this problem is happening? Uh, we are trying to find out. Okay, let's. Has there been any competitors that have reduced their price, or new competitor came into the market with the better product? Yes, there is a new competitor by the name of XYZ, and they are coming and they are selling this product at a cheaper price than us, and that could be the problem. Okay, now you identified that there is a problem because a new competitor came on the scene who is trying to sell a better product at a cheaper price. Okay, so now we understand that that is the problem. Okay, now what is the end goal that you want? Okay, we want the end goal. You will ask the business. We want the end goal to be that we want to increase our sales and we want to beat the competitor and we want to be able to get back to our original market share. Okay, so let's design the solution. So now we will sit down with the marketing team. We will sit down with the distribution team. We will sit down with the sales team, and we will work on designing a solution. Okay, we have understood these things. We have understood the demographic. We have understood everything. So this is the solution we came up with, right? This is the solution we came up with. We are going to sit down with the marketing team and the sales team and the business team, and we are going to write down certain steps that can now help us increase our sales back to normal. Okay, what are we going to do? So first of all, we will see what the competitor has on their website, and this is in form of user stories. You will break down all these steps in form of user stories for the business, right? We will break down what the features the product has that is selling better. Once we understand those features, we will try to make those changes in our product. Once we have made those changes in our product, we will design a new template with the help of the design team, a new template that is more appealing and that gives more clarity into our features and our product. And we will try to make the customer experience a little bit better. That is how we will solve this problem. And that is how, guys, you will answer this question. And there is no doubt in my mind, if you go around this way with answering this scenario based questions in such a scenario, you will not get the job in the startup. A startup job is the most lucrative job because most of the times, not only are you getting better pay, yes, there is instability and there is uncertainty whether the startup will survive the next 5 years, 10 years or not. But this is the most lucrative job because not only do you get equity in the business, not only do you get shares in the business that can increase in value 100 times, 200 times in 5 years, 4 years, if the startup works out, making you a multi-millionaire in the process, but you will become a part of the team at the very beginning stages, and you will be a person who is helping build the team and helping build the business. Okay, so you will play a very integral role. Whatever you do, it will matter. Your work will be noticed and you will learn a lot in a startup. So a startup job is the best job for any Scrum Master who is trying to start his career, or who is even mature Scrum Masters who are working in multi-billion-dollar companies, right? That is the best place for a person to get a job. And if you are looking for a job right now, a startup is the best place to look at. You can get in touch directly with the CEOs through the interviews. Generally, it's the CEOs who are interviewing the people, and you can, impress them with your hunger, with your passion for things, and they will hire you, and then you can do your best and create a very strong impact. And in the process, if the startup succeeds and you do a great job with the team, you end up becoming a multi-millionaire. So that is my opinion, and that is how I would solve this scenario-based solution. I know the video has stretched a lot, but I wanted to explain to you guys really, really well down to the nitty gritty. How should you tackle these kind of questions, scenario based questions in a startup? So, with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave in the comments down below if you have any more questions. Check out the link, set up a consultation with me if you are looking for a job, invest in yourself, and let me help you become better Scrum Masters. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.